Rappers and music producers. I'm going to give a little time, as usual, to let everybody come on in here. I know this is an unexpected stream, but there's definitely some things that we need to address now that we have the topic open. And a few of you asked me about this topic. Excuse me. I need to go ahead and wait for a few people to come in. Zappo, hi, how you doing? How you doing today? Lovely Tarot, how you doing? Marcus Hawkins, how you doing? Clorox Bleach, what's up? DJ HQ Hawkins, what's up? Praval, how you doing? CNC, Marcus Music, Celeb, B Sounds, full. Can we starting to come up in here? Big A, BusyWorksBeats.com. What's up, brother? HK Beats Kurt. Busy, I got to hit you up, actually. I'm going to hit you up. I'm going to text you after this is over with. Okay, we starting to pile in here now. Got a nice amount of us sitting up in here right now. What's the word, everybody? How you doing today? So we're at 60. I say when we get about 70, we can begin the explanations of some things that have been going on this last week that I haven't stayed silent on. I made statements about on Twitter, and I tried to give them a bit of time to address the situation. And let me just go start from the beginning. So basically, you guys are familiar with Airbit. Obviously, it's one of the leading websites when it comes to selling your beats online. They provide you beat stores. They provide you contracts. They provide you a lot of services that are intended to help the music producer. For some time, I was actually a ambassador of the brand, and they saw something different in me, which most of you have seen in me. They've seen something different in me, and they decided, you know what? We want to bring you onto the team and have you create content for us. So then that's what happened was that I created content for the YouTube channel. I've had many of meetings with the owner and his sister and other employees within the company, dealing with basically marketing ideas and ways to expand the brand since, I have been a part of them. And so there was something that came up, just to kind of give you a bit of a backstory. There was something that came up during the time period in which it was Jermaine Dupri. You remember that meme that went around where Jermaine Dupri was basically, somebody bent his words and basically said that he was alluding to that producers don't get anything after they sell their exclusive beats. They only get $200 and then a song can blow up like Panda. Remember that meme that went around? I did a video about it. Whatever the case may be, during that controversy, everybody was double checking their exclusive contracts. In the midst of that, a producer buddy of mine online hit me up and was like, yo, Kurt, man, I know all of this controversy is going on, but you might want to double check the default contracts for Airbit. And I'm like, what's going on? He's like, check this particular portion out. And the way that it was worded, I could understand why certain producers may not understand it, especially if you don't know, legal jargon. I don't know a whole lot of it. I know a good amount, but basically it was giving away 100% of your rights, not of your rights, but 100% of your royalties and your publishing was the way that it was worded. You basically weren't going to make any other money after that exclusive unless it was through, I think, the mediums of sync licensing or something. They worded it however they worded it. It was an issue. It was a huge issue. And I told them, I said, look, you guys need to address this. You need to fix this before this becomes a nightmare publicly, because every business has competition. And I told him, I said, look, while I'm part of the team right now, you need to address this, because I speak to producers. I'm an advocate for producers and producers getting their money, producers having their rights. I'm an advocate for this. So I can't stand by this kind of a situation. And, they said they would address it. I didn't look too much into it because I don't use the default exclusive contracts. I always use my custom contracts, which is a combination of, over the years, I would take different terms that I thought made sense with each other. I would research them, and then I laid it out pretty much the standard way that you see in contracts. I actually have a copy of my exclusive contract for those that are wondering what it looks like on my website. It's under the terms tab, I believe. Either way, I'll probably put it in the description. But I basically made my own contract, and I never looked at it again. So fast forward about 5 months, I think now, I have since parted ways with Airbit. You know, this is one of the reasons why I parted ways, is because, you know, that attention to detail is so important to me, because I have a lot riding on, you know, my brand and my reputation. It doesn't represent just me. It represents my family. It represents a community of producers that trust in me to always give them the truth and the honesty behind it. And I can't stand behind anything where either it's not a sense of urgency or it's just you're overlooking it. We all make mistakes. We're human beings. I understand that. However, apparently the issue did not get addressed. And one of the legends of the beat leasing business, Epic Beats, made a video where he basically was highlighting the exact same thing that I warned them about months and months ago. And because of that, there is a backlash right now from the producer community who are like, how could you, you know, knowing everything that producers deal with, how could you even have this be an error within the contract? And so as this happens, you know, you're not really hearing too much of a conversation on their end. You know, I'm not going to disclose the details of the conversation I had with the owner, but he reached out to me in the midst of all this because I told Epic, I said, bro, I told him about this months ago. There's no way in hell that this goes on still. And, you know, we discussed it briefly or whatnot. And then I'm like, I don't know. It's discouraging. It was disappointing. They changed the issue. So if you're using the default contracts right now, if you're using a default contract, the exclusive contract, they changed the wording of it, so you're good now. But man, I have to say something because my brand is associated with it, and I cannot have my brand be associated. That's something else. Speakerhead Chatterbox, you make a great point. Is that their contracts? You may say, "Well, I never signed the contract." Correction, my friend. If you're using your government name on your actual payment information on your website or your Airbit, it automatically signed it for you. There was contracts in which somebody told me, you know, oh yeah, don't even worry about it. Like I already got the contract and it's already signed. And I'm like, I look at the contract and the contract signed as Curtis King Beats. What the hell you mean? I never signed that. It was an e-signature. So, yeah. So that's the issue. I wanted to make sure I addressed it. I'm not dodging it by any means. I just have to be tactful about the way that I address it, because I do believe that they are probably seeking legal advice before addressing the situation. I, on the other hand, cannot afford to just be waiting around while my brand takes, you know, a hit because of my association with them. Because still, they're releasing videos that I created before my departure. And that does not look good in the midst of all this going on. Because if I was a producer looking at the videos with my face on it, I'd be like, you part of the people that wasn't looking out for me. So this is the reason why I'm addressing it. This is the reason they never told me anything. And that's the thing about it. I want you guys to understand is that Can't No brand. I mean, I don't care if it was, you know, Image Line. I don't care if it was Airbit. I don't care what any of these companies can't run what I do with my content on my YouTube. Can't nobody pay me to get stuff on here. Anything I put on the channel, believe I'm using for myself. You never have to worry about that. That's why when I do videos that are like sponsored videos, I almost feel like I know I have to, because you guys need to know that it's something that somebody has reached out to me. But if I don't believe in it, it's not going on my channel. This is my legacy. And if my legacy is full of a bunch of bullshit that nobody cares about, or a bunch of stuff that actually didn't work, or is not good, y'all are gonna leave. Y'all have no reason to listen to what I'm saying. So yeah, that's what I wanted to say about that. I don't know if you guys had any questions about it. Sahara Beats said the current contract is still not right. Look, you know, I'm sure there's probably other loopholes in there within that contract. This is why I suggest that until they get it correct, make sure you get your own contracts together. And if you need a template to build off of, go to my website, curtiskingbeats.com, and go to the leasing drop-down menu. Shock Raven said, are you still selling on Airbit? Absolutely. I believe in the service. I think it's good people. It's really good people. But this was a hell of a hiccup. This was a hell of an error. This is one of them things where, you know, I look at it like they're releasing a lot of new features for the website, which are super dope for producers, but you got to take care of the foundation. You know, the old country saying is like, you gotta shut the barn door, you know, before anything else. And so I don't know, man. It's one of them things where I'm starting to realize the higher up I move, the more that I associate myself with brands. You start to realize that no matter how much money a brand makes, that people are certain people, you know, have priorities in different places. And as I look at it, I'm like, man, this is really calling for a producer, and I don't know if that producer is me. It's not me today, but a producer to step up and create a platform that is completely by a producer, that is producer driven. Everything from the content, everything up and down, it's time for that to happen. And I got to tell you, I can't disclose information about it, but the good folks from License Lounge, of all people, remember I made that video about License Lounge and how they got industry producers who are trying to get into the leasing business now. I know a lot of you expressed some fear about it, but what you got to understand is this. We are in a place where if the leasing business continues, because the thing about it is not just Airbit. BStars has some controversy. I don't want to get too much into that. I don't know, for those who know, it has something to do with Facebook pixels and the way they were kind of and they've been good people. So, you know, here's what I say. And somebody wants me to address the thing that Taz Taylor said. I'm gonna chill on that, bro, because I don't know. I got my own thoughts about it that are not for public consumption, because I'm sure there's somebody in here who's going to want to twist my words and flip it into something else. And I don't want to give that kind of energy. So I'll address that to a certain degree. But the first things first is that there's going to come a time where there's going to have to be a producer who takes the realm and says, here is my alternative to a beat store, right? I don't know when that's going to be, but right now, License Lounge has approached me with a few opportunities to basically not share, but really educate these industry producers on how to move into this particular business. Here's why I think that this could be a potential situation and why I am actually debating on doing it. If this business gets activated, reactivated, re-energized by new energy, by new competition, it's going to bring a focus to where now artists who are up and coming are going to say, damn, where else am I going to go get beats from Tone Jones, A-Rap Music, a Lex Luger, Epic Beats, a Curtis King? Where else am I going to go but leasing business? It's a great alternative. It's a great business model. And so I feel like this is a great opportunity if they come into here and they do it right and they embrace the online music producer community. That's a huge part, because I think a lot of them kind of have an ego of, I don't need to embrace you guys. You guys are just internet producers. If I can be the bridge between the online producer and the industry producer, and that's one of my purposes for being here and doing the work that I do, to me, that is a great accomplishment to be able to do that. Because I don't think that the people on one side are bad. I don't think you guys are bad either. I think if anything, at the end of the day, we are all producers, but we all have different needs. However, for those producers who, have their issues with, I'm not putting my stuff online, I'm not